Hello everyone. I want to talk about the last exercise here in this 6-week course is the actual final model on a chipboard, not cardboard on a chipboard. So here's my cardboard model that we did a couple weeks ago. Right now we're going to do it out of chipboard here. My past model from another design, you can see chipboard here. We're going to do this model, or my design, out of chipboard now. So what I did here, and what I think you should do, is lay out all your components before you cut. So here's my board, my chipboard. It's 6 inches thick at an 1/8 inch equals a foot scale. So here you can see, let me bring this down, you can see right here that I have the canopy. Here's the canopy with my stair cutout, and then my ramp, and then here is the opening in the platform for the pool, reflecting pool. Then here I got my canopy with my opening. I have my walls down at the bottom here. This is my 41-foot wall, my 33-foot wall, my 25-foot wall. Here's the reflecting pool, the bottom of the reflecting pool, this rectangle. Here's my 13-foot wall. Here are my components for my bench, top, sides. And then I cut some strips for the skirt of the platform. These rectangles within the walls are my openings. Opening in the roof, opening in the platform for my reflecting pool, and then anything you see in X here is what I'm going to cut out. Now, remember I had said a trick is to cut out the openings in your board, your full board, chipboard first, before you cut them out individually, the pieces, because it's easier to cut out these openings now at this stage than afterwards when you have, for instance, like this little wall cut out. It's much harder to do that, so it's better to cut the openings out first. So I'm going to cut this big opening here. This big one, that's the opening in the pool, in the platform. I'm going to cut that out, just that one. Then I'll cut all the pieces, and then I'll go to do another video for that. It's probably going to be a total of 3 videos here, but you're going to need, right, you're going to need your cutting tool, whichever one you choose. This one is a blade cutting tool. It's a retractable blade, and you can cut off these segments. It's just kind of nice to keep them sharp. I prefer this type of cutting tool. You're going to need a self-healing mat, your stainless steel straight edge to cut against, and then of course your material. Let's see, let's bring this down. So I want to cut out this opening right here in my chipboard. You can see my chipboard is mm, 6 inches thick at a 1/8 scale. And the trick is to, like I had mentioned in the other videos, that the trick here is to make sure you're 90 degree. When you're cutting, you don't want to cut on an angle that way. You don't want to cut on any angle. You want to make sure you're straight 90 degrees. Your blade is 90 degrees to the cutting edge of this stainless steel ruler. So here's one corner. Let me mark that with an ink pen, just so you can see it. I'm going to mark the corners here. 1, 2, just so we can see the corners. Okay, so now let's cut this. Always remember to keep your fingers away from the blade. Now I'm going to start with that little dot there. I want to try not to overcut, right? It might take a couple of passes. I want to come short of this dot because I don't want to overcut. Might take a couple passes. 90 degrees straight up. Keep your fingers, these fingers away. You want to keep those fingers away. If you don't keep them away from that edge, you're going to slice the tip of your fingers off. So you have to press down too. So let's hold that. You'll feel when you're through, because you'll feel the self-healing cutting mat below. Okay, that looks good. You can see that I made that cut. I know this corner is nice and straight because that's where I started. Here I stopped short. So I'm going to turn this right now around this way and then cut from this end here, just to open this cut here, clear it, because I didn't go all the way. Like so. Okay. Now I'm going to flip it, turn it, I'm going to do this end here. Making sure I leave the line. Stay over at 90. I'm going to fall short here, but here I'm going to go down where that dot is. Cutting out the opening for the reflecting pool in my base. Of course, the bigger the opening is, the easier to cut it out of your original piece. The smaller the opening, the more patience you're going to need. Now I'll flip it over and make sure that this corner is loose here. Do this other one just in case. One pass. I want to make sure the corners are looks good. You got those two. Now I got to cut each side right of the opening. So let's do this one first. See if I can get my camera. This one's going to be tough, right? Because it's short. Get my on that dot. I want to stay short. Where I'm cutting, where I'm beginning, that's where I'm going to go through. But on this edge, I'm going to stop short because I don't want to overcut. I'll flip it around, right? I think I'm through. I can feel the self-healing mat. I'm going to turn it over cut this edge. Remember, keeping your fingers away from this straight edge here. You feel it loosening, if not already. You might be able to tell if it's through. See, if it's not through, oh, that one came through. Nice. I'm gonna do this here, this one here. Holding your straight edge down, going through once. You're not going to go through it on your first pass. It's going to take a couple passes. Just make sure you start at one corner, loosen it up, and then flip it around. This one looks like that corner is loose. You can tell. Now flip it around. It might already be sliced through, but I always like to flip it around just in case. Now I got to loosen this corner. Looks like it's through actually. See? Yeah, look at that. Just came right through. So here's my opening. That's how you cut the openings. You got to be patient with it. All right. There's the opening in my platform. Again, now here's an opening here. It's a smaller. It's going to be more challenging, right? But if you follow the same rules, you know, just put a dot. I like to put an ink dot. You might want to not use ink. I just did it for purposes of the video here. That one. I got to cut that X out. I got to cut this out for my ramp. I got to cut these two little openings in the wall here. This one's going to be challenging, right, because it's smaller, that opening, and then that opening. I'll cut all the pieces here for this model, and then show you when they're all done, and then glue them all together. And got to place all the walls, and it'll be a model like this, but in chipboard. All right.